What's up guys, my name is Jedith, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. The nerfs came in, the ones we were expecting, the ones we heard were coming. We knew we were going to get hit by something, but we didn't know how much, or how little, or what abilities, or anything like that. We finally caught wind of it, and we know what's coming this Tuesday, December 5th. I'm going to be straight with you. It's not as bad as I thought. So we're going to talk about the changes today. We're going to go over each one, talk about the implications of each change, and why it's not as bad as you might think. Fel Rush damage reduced by 12%. Immolation aura damage reduced by 12%. Fel Barrage damage reduced by 12%. And then fixed an issue when talented into a fire inside that caused any cast of Immolation aura beyond the first to not enforce its intended GCD. So let's talk about that last one first. Let's just get that out of the way. Essentially what was happening was when you press an ability, the ability has a cooldown where you can use it again, right? Like each ability has a different cooldown. For example, we'll look at Immolation Aura. It has a 25-second recharge. The Hunt has a 1.5-minute cooldown. Essence Break is 40 seconds. They all have a cooldown time, right? But what usually happens is when you use an ability, see that clock swipe that happens after on each ability? That's the global cooldown, meaning after you use an ability, there is a time frame in which you cannot use another ability. So what was happening is that the second use of Immolation Aura or any procs or anything were not incurring that global cooldown, meaning you could use it quickly, you could use another ability after it very quickly. It's a little bug fix, needed to happen. It was doing some things in terms of like the rate at which we were able to ramp up our AoE in Mythic Plus and in Raid. You were able to just get your abilities off quicker and do more damage up front quicker. You're not going to really notice it. You might notice it if you were privy to it previously, if you knew that this was happening. But for the most part, the majority of players had no idea this was even a thing, and you won't notice it when it's implemented. So no need to worry on that. So Fel Rush damage reduced by 12%. This one is... I wasn't expecting a Fel Rush nerf, to be completely honest. Warcraft Manor, for example. Fel Rush was around 5.7% of my overall, usually somewhere between 5 and like 7% maybe if you're really popping off with Fel Rush. So, you know, reducing that by 12%, it's not going to be massive. It's going to definitely hit it a little bit. It's not like a crazy nerf that we have to really be too concerned about. Does that affect the way that you should use that ability in your rotation? Probably not. So in my last video, I gave 5 tips on how to maximize your damage in Mythic Plus. And one of those tips was when you're in AoE combat and you have nothing else to press, right? You only have, for example, a Chaos Strike to use or a Fel Rush, and you're fighting a pack of like 5 mobs. What do you press? What a lot of people will do is they'll stand there and just slam Chaos Strike. But what you really should be doing is using Fel Rush for damage. Now, does that nerf change that? No, it does not. Immolation Aura damage reduced by 12%. So this is one that we knew was coming. We all kind of assumed that Immolation Aura was going to get hit. I think the general consensus from people was that it was probably going to be around 20%. Because, again, if we look, our Immolation Aura is cranking. It's being empowered by any means necessary. There's a lot of things happening. So our Immolation Aura is doing crazy damage. Now, like I said, we were expecting around 20% in terms of a nerf. So 12%, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm okay with that. One thing to keep in mind is that a nerf to Immolation Aura isn't just affecting your Immolation Aura damage. It's also affecting your Rage Fire damage, because any damage that's happening through Immolation Aura, portion of that is being funneled into Rage Fire. So it is going to affect your Rage Fire damage a little bit as well, but not a crazy amount. Fel Barrage damage reduced by 12%. There has been a lot of discussion over the past week or two on whether you should run Fel Barrage, or if you should run Essence Break, or if you should run GT. What I've been telling people is that you can play whatever you want. It's not make or break. If you enjoy playing Glaive Tempest, go play Glaive Tempest. You're not going to do like negative damage in a key. If you enjoy playing that, you're probably going to do more damage playing what you enjoy than playing something you don't quite understand. So there were people that were going into keys running Fel Barrage and not really playing it properly, not extending it, not doing the things they needed to do to upkeep the Fury, and they had really poor management, and they weren't getting the great results that they were hearing people were getting with Fel Barrage. Fel Barrage damage reduced by 12%. This is needed because Fel Barrage was doing a lot of upfront damage in a key, or even just packs, you know, trash packs in a key. You go in there, you would have your inertia buff, you would have initiative, you would probably be popping like a damage pot sometimes. You would just go in there and you press Fel Barrage and you blast things to death, right? So it was looking really good on the meters because it was stealing a lot of upfront damage, but it was also pretty overpowered. But the thing was that Fel Barrage was almost like net neutral in single target. So if you went and used it on a boss, it wasn't doing much because you were also not pressing your other spenders inside of that Fel Barrage window. So Fel Barrage damage reduced by 12, I think that is very fair. Me personally, I never ran Fel Barrage. I was not a Fel Barrage believer. Well, that's not fair. It's not that I didn't believe in it. It's just I preferred Essence Break. And Essence Break was giving a bit more single target damage and even just like prio damage in trash packs. There's always like 1 or 2 specific mobs in a pack of 5 that like maybe you need to kill for everything else. Essence Break was giving you more prio damage there. So I just preferred Essence Break. You know, we had been playing with Essence Break for the past 2 patches or 3 patches or whatever it's been. So that's just what I was used to, and I preferred it. After playing with it for a few weeks, the community, and you could see this in sort of the top keys that were being done, the community kind of caught on to that as well, and you were seeing more and more keys, more and more high keys being done with Essence Break instead of Fel Barrage. So essentially what's happening now is that because this is getting nerfed, because Fel Barrage is getting nerfed, probably won't play it. Probably going to either go back to Essence Break, which you all should know how to play. And if you don't, if you are somebody who swapped over to playing Havoc when they saw how we were doing this patch, and you don't know the Essence Break window, I have a video. You can check it out in the top right corner. It's from a couple patches ago, but it's still completely relevant. Breaks it down step by step, how to align all of your buffs to make sure they line up and make sure you're getting all of the damage amps that you need. So yeah, if you don't know how to do the Essence Break combo, check out that video. Don't play Fel Barrage anymore. Play Essence Break or GT. There was also some nerfs to some trinkets, and these changes are actually in the game already. These were hotfixed in tonight. So the only one that really affects us is the Augury of the Primal Flame. So damage nerfed by 33%, but the RPPM, the random procs per minute, increased to 1.5, was 1. So this does not mean that the internal cooldown of it was increased to 1.5 minutes was 1. That's not what this means. What it means is that you will get procs of this more often. You will get 1.5 procs per minute affected by haste. So even though the damage on the proc is being nerfed by a substantial amount, 33% is quite a bit, we're now going to get procs of it more often, meaning it's going to be a little bit more consistent. You can see sometimes my Augury was proccing and critting for 313,000. This could have been on like a damage amp boss, maybe not, I'm not 100% sure, but Augury was doing a lot of damage. So the damage output was nerfed a little bit, but it'll proc more often. So if anything, this change to the Augury trinket should be, at the very least, net neutral. Okay, so you're probably asking, Jed, cut to the chase, what are the overall percentage nerfs to our AoE and to our single target? So in AoE, if you were running Fel Barrage previously, if you were a Fel Barrage believer and you were a set it and forget it player, these nerfs are probably going to be somewhere in the range of like 4 to 5% in AoE. If you were not a Fel Barrage enjoyer and you were an Essence Break player or a Momentum enjoyer, link to this t-shirt in the description of this video. It had nothing to do with any of this, but I just wanted to say it. Or if you were a GT enjoyer, these nerfs are going to be even less for you for AoE. So you don't have to freak out. The only thing that really impacts you if you were an Essence Break player or a GT player is the Imulation or nerfs. For single target, it's going to be even less. Because like I said, Fel Barrage was net neutral in single target. It's probably not even worth pressing in pure single target. And Immolation Aura in single target is... Here, let's take a look. Let's see. Find a pure single target boss. I don't know if there are any you can look at. Mindbender Gersha? Okay, Immolation Aura on Mindbender. This is a single target fight. 7.3% of damage in a single target fight, so, you know, reduce that by 12%. It's not much. Not much at all. So, single target, probably like 1 or 2% maybe, if that. So, overall, Havoc is still in a fantastic place. We are still probably the best melee for Mythic Plus in terms of damage, in terms of utility, mob control, all that stuff. We are still in a fantastic place. So no need to re-roll. No need to freak out. Everything's fine. If anything, we're just in a healthier spot. If you want to see some of these builds in action, some of these builds that I've been talking about, you know, whether it's GT or maybe playing Fel Barrage after the nerfs, Essence Break, or, you know, how to play Inertia, or Momentum even. I should try Momentum. If you want to see me use any of that stuff, you should go over to my second YouTube channel. The link will also be in the description of this video, where I post Mythic Plus runs, and you can watch me do Mythic Plus with all of those different things. I like to test out builds and post them up for you guys to see. So go check out that second YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to it. And yeah, we're safe, guys. We dodged it. We blade dance dodged these nerfs. So everyone can rest easy. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you sub to the channel if you haven't already. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.